I wanted to do this video. I'm going to be doing real quick slow cook greens. What I have is I've done a couple videotapes of greens, but today I'm going to be making a slow cook greens in a slow cooker. I'm not going to use any meats. What I am going to be using as a base is my liquids from my turkey that I reserved, and see, they're nice and gelatinous because of the collagen and the gelatin that's in the connective tissues, which brought that richness. You could use this also for like a nice gravy sauce, but I'm going to be using it for my greens because I just thought it'd taste a lot better. So, and I'm going to put them in a slow cooker. Now, I could saute them, which would be nice. I could just use this, but I want my greens to be a little bit tender than they usually do. That'll give it that little crunch because they're just delicious. Now, before I started, I soaked my greens because they were wilted. And if they're wilted, don't throw them out. And you probably want to get some of that alkaline in them. Alkaline, the green, the stuff that makes it really bright green. So because some of the greens kind of escaped, because I had to soak them. I soaked them. You only need to soak them for about 30 minutes, no more than an hour, and they'll replump. They'll get nice and crispy again. They'll be nice, and if they're wilted. So if you ever find some greens in the store and you can't find them anywhere else, and you want some fresh greens, go ahead, grab them. See if you can make a deal with the with the produce manager or the store manager and say, hey, I really need some greens. Is there any way that you can give me a discount? If not, because they have their policies and the regulations, go ahead, take them, bite the bullet, take them, rehydrate them at home. Put them in a big bowl of water and a cold water, and just let them soak there for about 30 minutes to almost an hour. And I'm telling you, you'll have some nice greens, so like they're fresh. But you have to use them right away. Me, I soaked them all overnight. A lot of folks, they do soak them overnight to get the toxins out, and well, the stuff that makes you gassy. So that they can be very gassy. But I like having my greens sauteed. Personally, that's my favorite. But I'm going to go ahead and use my slow cooker this time, and this would have been perfect to have it sauteed in. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that. Well, I probably could. So let's go ahead and saute them. I'm going to go ahead and saute them in the onion, and then I'm going to put them in my slow cooker because I want, like I said, I want my greens a little bit tender this time. So, and you know what? It's to preference. I love having crispy greens. Oh, they're so delicious. So I have my greens, and because I lost some of that alkaline, I went ahead and I added some baby spinach and then some kale to it, and that's gonna bring back some of that greeny, you know, the stuff that we love, the alkaline, which is really healthy for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. Yep. And then I'll take my little chopping board here, and I'm gonna. This is already heated up. This is heating up fairly well. I'm gonna go ahead and add some of that gelatinous with the fat. Now all the fat kind of surfaced up. You see how the fat just surfaced up? I'm gonna go ahead and just use that fat from my turkey. So there you have, you see the two different colors. So all the fat rose up. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then slice. I've already rinsed out my onions before I cut them. Always rinse out your onions before you cut them, because when you cut them, you don't want all that stuff to come in the middle of the onions. You don't have to, but I do. I think it's just better. And then go ahead and take the top peeling off. Try to do this as quick as possible. At least have a bowl. Okay. Go ahead and lower that. I'm just going to go ahead and julienne. You could dice it, but I'm going to go ahead and just julienne. There's a lot of liquids in there, so be very careful when you're sauteing these. Toss a little bit of onion. And just thinly sliced would be good. And go ahead, add all that in there. And then go ahead, I'm going to put some carrots. The reason why I like having carrots is because it brings some kind of sweetness. A lot of people use, they put the sugar in it. You could, if you'd like to. So I have plenty of onions in there. I like the onion flavor. I have a little bit of cloves of garlic here. You know, I try to do that, you know, where you put the two bowls together and you shake it. It didn't work for me. So I'm just going to stick to good old-fashioned smash the garlic and just call it a day. Sometimes it works for some folks, and sometimes either the skins were on there too darn too rough, or they weren't, I don't know. So I have plenty of garlic here. So I'm going to go ahead and slice them up. That's about 3 cloves of garlic. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, don't throw the fat away. You can reuse it. Recycle it and make a really nice, delicious onions. Or you use it for onion soup, or if you're cutting back on your fat. Well, be very careful. I'm just going to go ahead and put some salt in that. And that's going to be pretty. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and just put my, you know, I'm just tempted just to saute this. I really just want to saute, but I'm going to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way, or the real popular Southern way, and just go ahead and put in my slow cooker. I know, I love having, I love my greens when they're just slightly sauteed and they're just delicious like that. That's my favorite way of having it. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of this. And get a clean spoon. Always when you're cooking and you have something cold, you really don't want to take the spoon and put it in here, and that's kind of like cross-contaminating. I'm going to take some of this beautiful gelatinous that's been liquefied. I mean, that's been the liquids that have been turned solid, and I'm going to go ahead. It's so pretty, and pour that in and put some couple tablespoons in there, because the greens itself has some liquid. Turn that off. I'm going to add some of my favorite 21 seasonings in there. You can add little as much as you want, or not that much. And I'm going to add my slivers of garlic. I'm going to add some jalapeno peppers. just to give it a little kick. And these are coming out of my summer batch because the summer jalapeno peppers are really spicy, so I'm trying not to use that many. But I do want to have that jalapeno flavor. You can use the marinated jalapeno peppers and then go ahead and add a little bit of the liquids from the jalapeno pepper, and you could do that, but it's going to give it a whole different flavor. If you do that, then I would go ahead and add some sugar to that, but I don't want to add any sugar to this one, or sweetener. I'm going to go ahead and put in a pinch of pepper, and you could use white pepper if you prefer. And then I'm going to go ahead and squeeze half a lemon. So with those marinated peppers, they're made from their vinegar. So if you'd like to use some vinegar, you can. But I'm just going to go ahead. I like the lemon, the acid from the lemon. I think it's nicer and it's healthier. And well, we could always use a little bit of vinegar. I mean, people use vinegar. So you have to be very careful while using vinegar. Be very, very careful with it. So, okay. So I have my nice caramelized onions. I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. Okay? Put all that nice fond on there. And if you want to, you can add some more liquids to this if you'd like. Just to get that fond, you can go ahead and add just a little bit of water. Go ahead and add a little bit of this water. In the wintertime, I like using the water straight from the sink because it's winter, it's cold, and so there's less impurities in the water. So, I mean, if you live in an area that you can use the water, then absolutely. But I've noticed that when I've gone to different places, the topography is different, so the water's different. So this water seems to be okay. And see, I deglazed my pan, and I just used a little bit of water just to deglaze it. I'm going to turn that off, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add it. Okay. I'm going to put the cover on it, clean up a little bit, and let that put it on high. Let it slow cook for a while. I'm going to come back and check up on it and make sure that my greens are a little bit tender, and then I'll let you see what it looks like. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.